Welcome back to the NECC. Our next match is our sole immersion match of the night, as the gem of Johnson and Wales, EV Angel, will take a near flawless 2-1 record tonight against ArcaneNexus, who will try and earn their first win for Midland on the year. My name is Ethan Dolan, probably better known as Nelhad, and tonight, for the very first time, I will be joined by Wita. How are we feeling?
Feeling all right. I just got to watch some interesting Hearthstone gameplay in an Arcadia mirror, which obviously we did see that Putis ended up winning. So that was a bit of a great one coming out of that. So now obviously this matchup, I feel like it's an interesting one to watch because these lineups, at least on one side of the board, is a little bit homebrew and the other one is a little bit more traditional. So should we get into the deck action right here?
Homebrew.
A little bit of a homebrew, you know, this is the one where you're like, you bring this up to a D&D session and your DM is like, I mean, it's actually not in the player's handbook, but it's kind of, it's broken, like it's poorly broken, so if you want to be like permanently like knocked out and not have the ability to do anything in any fight, you know, totally okay. So, I mean, you can certainly try, and I think that is what's going to be the name of the game for ArcaneNexus tonight, because this lineup is Quest Control Shaman, featuring Galakrond and among other Rat Pack cards. It has a very traditional, I mean, it's just like a guardian animals to very traditional. That's actually like not real anything in that. It's like interesting. Then there is an interesting demon hunter deck, and then there's the Heap Mage that you were talking a little bit about.
Adequately named. Quite the heap, quite the assortment of cards. So if you want this fine list, if Mage makes it through, you're going to want to write down every card, because either ArcaneNexus did just bring a heap of something, or it's going to be a heap of greatness. You better watch out. This could be all over the ladder tomorrow.
I will heavily doubt that, but decks that you might have seen on ladder are going to be coming out from EV Angel's lineup. As of right now, we see the classical, and when I say classical, I mean classical, Sue Warlock right there. You know it, you love it, I hate it, raise that. Good old 2-mana guy that's in there. Wait, what am I looking at? Why is there no Dark Lair? Never mind, it is not a traditional Sue Warlock. There's no Dark Lair. But for some reason, we are not playing the best card in the deck. All right, moving over to the Resurrection Priest, which is a bit of a different, it's more like a more anti-control version of the Resurrection Priest, right? You see the double Psyche splits, instead of like having some other like anti-aggro cards in those slots. Then there is the more traditional aggro Demon Hunter, which I'm personally a big fan of, but for some reason at the top end, there are 2 copies of Illidari Fellblade. Again, it's a 4-mana 5/3 rush that if it's outcast, it has immune, so you can set up some very favorable trades. I just have a hard time seeing in which matchups those are going to come in to really do the whole, like, do the damage, right? But again, obviously, this lineup comes from EV Angel, who's 2-1, so maybe he knows something that I don't, and I'm always down to be taught new and interesting things, because that's why we live, baby. And something that you've been living for right now, Nelhad, is this Burn Mage coming out here from EV Angel. Talk to me about this deck.
This Burn Mage, as I believe these are to decide the bans here, Druid and Priest coming out, so that means that the Priest will be banned and the Druid will be banned, so let me just get those right out the list. And I know, Wita, you are sighing a big sigh of release that this Priest will not see the light of day. I think it's the right call to take away the Guardian Druid list for ArcaneNexus. Arguably the only deck that ArcaneNexus brought that hits the tier list tonight here. EV Angel, yeah, bring that spell damage mage that we're talking about. I absolutely love this deck. There's so much versatility. There's so many big brain plays. Like, playing this deck just makes me feel like I'm getting a minor in mathematics, and that could not be further from the case. I'm a video production major. They just teach me how to hold a camera. So any deck that can make me feel smart, I'm fully on board with. This deck does just that. A lot of numbers to think about. A lot of different ways you can use the damage-based removal that is available, such as Fireball. There's a lot of different things going on. It's beautiful. Just so much modality, so much variability here, as we are going to be moving into our first match. Wita, what are we expecting here, as we do have Demon Hunter going up against this Quest Shaman?
I'll be looking at these lists and having them on the side for me right now, because obviously Demon Hunter, again, very traditional. However, this Shaman, not so much, and I feel like that's actually a case to throw away the quest here to find some of those cards that potentially could stabilize you in the early game. The issue with that being that the only card that really does anything for you in the early game right now, if we're talking about ArcaneNexus perspective, is that, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, there are 2 cards that were the Maniac and 2, I mean, I feel like Invocation of Frost is like the only like really good card that you have in the early game that actually will help you assess the board. Obviously, Evil Totem can be an aggressive thing. I actually feel like we were looking at somewhat of a full keep actually from Evil Angel as well, if they felt up for it, because again, there's no lightning storms, there's no landslides, there are none of these like early game AoE abilities, right? So you can just start building up those big massive minions and it's just like taking it from there. So let's see what I feel like this has to be a coin play. Like, you know, there are no answers. There are no answers to anything that you will be putting onto the board here. This I can understand this in a closed deckless scenario where you don't exactly know what to expect coming out from your opponent. But right now, when you're looking at this, you have the full decklist. You can look at it and see there's literally nothing that punishes my opponent. Again, what does this mana burn block? Right, like what does this mana burn block on turn 3? It blocks a Manatide Totem, it blocks a Farsight. Like, it doesn't block anything in reality, right? So potentially this could be used with much greater effect going to something like turn 5, turn 6, where there are actual power plays coming through. Obviously, yes, that is in fact going to be an Invocation of Frost. But ask yourself, if you just played the Guardian Orc Merchant, that Invocation of Frost would have been kind of useless regardless. So it's one of those things where you have to find the nuances for the correct place in a deck like Aggro Demon Hunter. I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm just really passionate about Aggro Demon Hunter. It's one of my favorite decks like throughout this entire rotation. I was really sad when they nerfed it, because this deck is, I wouldn't say it's unplayable right now. It certainly isn't, but it's just like, you know, it's a shell of its former self, because like its damage just got turned down and its counter got turned down so magnificently.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see them going in, but you're absolutely correct. EV Angel not really doing their homework coming in this matchup. The mana burn there, I can understand a little bit more. Prevents a Hex onto your 3-1 with Divine Shield. We do see the Invocation of Frost coming through, and that will slow down the damage a little bit and buy times for this Hagatha scheme that is coming up, but not going to eat through the Divine Shield there, so still a bit of an issue on the table. Earthquake obviously deals with Divine Shield very well, but you don't really want to take 3 to the face every turn here. In addition, with some more minions getting on the board here, Demon Companion will be getting a 2/2 with Taunt, and still some mana to play with on this turn.
Yeah, most definitely. And again, now we are going to be seeing the effect of not holding back with these mana burns, right? Because right now the thing is that you're playing an Echo deck into a control deck, and your entire game plan revolves around you coming back, like staying on the board, like getting on the board and staying there. And the issue is that you're utilizing mana burn incorrectly in a matchup like this. It's going to be incredibly impactful in a negative way, because you really do need to hold back those mana burns to block out those bigger control turns, right? Because this now, on this temperature coming up here, you're going to see the double invocation with the Corrupt Elementalist potentially coming down and just clean up quite a lot of the various options here. If this Weapon Swing goes into the 0-3, I'm going to be quite upset it doesn't. Okay, nice ordering here. I can definitely get behind this. Using the weapon charge here is not really an issue, due to the fact that the Ember Wing, obviously isn't hand, so you want to be able to utilize that next turn. Words are hard, and you shouldn't believe that I'm actually studying English. Right, you know, like...
Oh, words are hard indeed. I think Lurkerable feels like a solid play here, right? It does get rid of 2 minions if you do target on the furthest right here. Looks like that will be the play. Lurkerable going to take care of most of this board. Wiping down, popping off that Divine Shield. Does get 1 completion mark on the quest.
So obviously, I think that's the case for holding it back here.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards acrobatics right now, and the reason for me doing that is the fact that you'll have a lot of open mana, and you don't necessarily need to draw these 2 extra cards here. Like using like Beam Sack Kick is fine. You can even like go like. So I guess this is where the Illidari Fellblade is just the absolute nuts, because it comes in cleans up the 6/5. The only thing you don't know is that everybody's gonna get dealt with regardless of the follow-up turn, and every single piece of damage you could push to the face right now would have been critical, because on turn 8. We do see that Walking Fountain being, I don't know, the fountain of like game winning here, the fountain of knowledge. I don't know, I was trying way too hard to make that one stick. It just didn't, you know? You gotta take your losses sometimes, and I feel like EV Angel's about to hold a pretty sizable L, like, not gonna lie, because how do you come back on this board? Like, you need to find 10 damage. Exactly second copy of Twin Slice would be enough to close out the game, and that is a Blazing Battle Mage. It is that is not a Twin Slice.
Yeah, this Walking Fountain is just going to be an absolute menace, and you're right, there's not really anything they can do. This game's going to start sliding away from them. They can push in as much damage as they want this turn, and they are going to opt to just take care of that spell damage totem. So in will be Cummins' Walking Fountain foray with Lifesteal, Rush, and Wind Fury. It's a lot to take care of.
Oh no, this is so greedy!
Oh my goodness, invoking Galronk here. Galakrond being banked on for the dub later on. You do get the 2/2-1s with Rush here, but man, you're right, it's a very greedy play. You have it out. You have the Walking Fountain. It can't be dealt with. The draw there, though, I don't think is going to be enough. Picking up that Voracious Reader, it does look like going to roll that one out. We'll be able to draw some cards. Walking Fountain should come down without a doubt this turn.
Say without a doubt it's going to come down. The issue is not. Is it though? Question mark?
Oh. Demon Claws coming through right there. Not sure. And there's the second slice. I thought they were gonna hold on that for hand. I'm like, you might want to read Voracious Reader one more time. Puts them down to 4. ArcaneNexus has the answers in hand.
There's no way. I mean, so again, it's worth noting that this build of the Aggro Demon Hunter that EV Angel is playing is not one of those. There's like no silences. There is not a there isn't a combination of Eldritch plus Scolical Dam, which is obviously is also a very common closer for this deck, and this Dragon Pack is going to be pretty hard to get through for EV Angel. I would have liked to see the lead here with the Stilt Stepper, because Stilt Stepper here would be it's coming out of the hand regardless, right? You need to figure out a way to really, like, you can put again, like, now this Wriggling Horror comes down with actual built-in value to it, and you'll have to give up this. He won't have to give up. Obviously, you can use the Guardian Arc Merchant, but he will have to trade in with this Voracious Reader. But again, it lines up quite nicely here. Like, mana-wise, it lines up perfectly. Hero Power plus Guardian Arc Merchant. It's full mana usage, which is, you know, something that you love to see right now if you want EV Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping this Voracious Reader alive is going to be a big key. They're giving it Divine Shield, being able to draw cards. Still sitting on this Walking Fountain is ArcaneNexus. Really a big key to just kind of winning the game. I feel like if I'm EV Angel and I see that, it's probably an instant scoop. We're going to see if it finally does come down here. Earthquake also a pretty solid play if you're asking me, but Walking Fountain...
No, you do not play the Earthquake here. I saw that hover, ArcaneNexus. I saw that hover.
Oh! There it is! We see the Earthquake coming through. ArcaneNexus exceedingly greedy here. Farsight, what's on the top? Another Farsight! We are chaining these, keep ripping them off the top. Faceless Corruptor is drawn. Earthquake Blade. Oh my goodness. Twin Slice is going to bring home the win. EV Angel wins game 1 after ArcaneNexus just refuses to play the Walking Fountain.
I don't know.
Me, oh my. ArcaneNexus going thirsty, leaving that fountain on the bench. Nothing to drink from. Definitely gonna have to review the game film on that one and find out, hey, this is what stabilizes. This is why this is in the deck. It's exactly to combat situations like this. It's got the Wind Fury. It has the Lifesteal. It does so much to stabilize your position as a slower deck, yet just sitting on it and sitting on it. And as a result, EV Angel will get the dub in game 1 with Aggro Demon Hunter. Game 2 here, Zulok going up against this Demon Hunter list from ArcaneNexus.
Is it safe to come out yet? Is it over? Is it done?
Oh my goodness, what a fiesta there in game number 1. EV Angel doesn't even know what was in hand. That's the most beautiful part for me. If EV Angel goes back in VOD reviews, they're gonna be sitting, did I win this game? Wait, did I?
So it is worth noting that this is not the top division, obviously.
Submergence, yeah.
Yeah, right. Which again means that we cannot expect to have the ability to review a game like this at the same level of someone in the Champions Division or in a higher division, right? And obviously, I have done similarly greedy and horrible plays at on stages where it ended up costing me like $4,000 more than I was already banking that tournament. So I know. I don't know if it's just like a PTSD trick or something like that, you know, it's coming through, you know, like I've been here, I see how this ends, you know, I just do not want to see this train wreck happening, you know. But again, it's a new game, it's a new dawn, it's a new deck, and it is an absolute calamity of a deck. I don't even know what to say. I'm not even going to try to list out the cards because there are so many one-ups in here. This might as well just be a random high-end deck where, like, you know what, I just do not have Zephyrs. Which, honestly, it actually might be a very real thing, right? That if you are, like, let's say ArcaneNexus is a bit of a more casual player, which is totally fine, right? They might just not have access to all the cards that you need to make the meta decks. And again, obviously, when you are playing best out of 5, having to make 5 decks can sometimes be quite hard to do, right? Like it's totally fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm coining this one RNG Demon Hunter, just because, as you said, it felt a little coin flippy on the deck selection. Roll a d20 and just find which card correlates with the number. But a pretty aggressive start here, dropping some minions on the board. That 2/2 not to with right here, looking at trading the 1/3 and potentially just to take it down, but. For what we've said about the deck, not too bad of a start here for ArcaneNexus in game number 2.
Absolutely not, and obviously, it's kind of like when you play, like, I don't know if you've ever tried playing a really bad. Oh no! Just protect your board, my guy.
The face is indeed the place right now for ArcaneNexus, just absolutely going for it. A bit of an aggressive move. Once again, ArcaneNexus looking like one of the greediest players in the NECC. We'll see if it pays off for him down the stretch here in game number 2. Desperately needing a win, trying to put the first dub under the column for this 0-3 start to the season, but not looking too promising against EV Angel so far.
Why are we not trading here, by the way? Hello?
Both players finding value, go for face damage here early on. ArcaneNexus, the hand bountiful at first, has dried up here just a little bit. Does have that Satyr Overseer in hand, can do that into hero power. Summon a 2/2, establish the board a little bit, probably trade out for that 1/1 if they were thinking correctly, and I might hit the face with the 1/3 following that, but nope. We are sending it right down Main Street, hitting the face with the hero power, right. Going to trade the 1/3 into the 1/1.
We value traded, boys. It's fine. It's saved. It's saved. I don't know. So let's just take a bit of a let's just call it a Hearthstone 101. Show me, because that's pretty lovely.
Welcome to class.
Yeah, okay, so Sue is a deck that traditionally wins by having board control, which you then utilize to stick your minions and then kill your opponent with a Soulfire or just, you know, actual minion damage. I am not gonna try to even make any sense of what this Demon Hunter deck is trying to do, because I could be sitting here until Kingdom Come and it would just not be great. But, so the issue is right now, right, let's think back here. EV Angel had the opportunity to take the trade with the Manari Marshed up Spirit Jailer onto this 1/2 that is now currently stuck on the board. Would have left him with the same amount of face damage taken, right? Now has to take a bit of a bad trade here. There's just like so many different ways, right? Because the thing is that if that's not left up, then obviously then we'll see ArcaneNexus being forced to take the face trade into the thing instead, right? And it's actually going to see coordinated rush and command the Illidari. Like this is actually somewhat disgusting, right? Because a lot of the tools that this deck utilizes from ArcaneNexus are actually incredibly good against Sue. It's also worth noting that the hand of EV Angel has not been pretty, and they also did lose the flip onto the hand of Gul'dan, but again, could have manipulated that better by spacing out what they're trying to do better. And right now they're stuck with having to hero power here and coining out a flesh giant. I would assume that's going to be where this game's at. ends up at. Can even play the Flame Imp as well and just get another body on the board. The issue is that right now we're looking at a hand with Gladebound Adept and an Inner Demon. And there are like close to no taunts in this deck here from Eevee Angel, having already used one of the healing options in the deck. Obviously have shuffled in 4 Soul Fragments, so that is obviously going to be... Wait, why did we not play a Flesh Giant? Alright, watch them rip the Hanagle down from this, by the way. Okay, they didn't. So this Hanagle down has to be hard casted now, by the way. Like, this is an interesting position to be in. Read the battle cry text on Gladebound up. Nice, okay. And
Pure power coming through, and they will order correctly here with the.
Okay.
With the Gladebound. There it is. I thought.
You were talking about math, right?
Yes.
Do you agree with me that 6 damage is greater than 4 damage?
Hold on, let me grab my calculator. Yes, 6 damage does come out as greater than 4.
Great. Obviously, yes, we can see right now it does it up for the Inner Demon lethal over the next 2 turns. The issue is that the second a single copy of White Walker is found, that Inner Demon lethal is no longer an option. So instead of playing for the Inner Demon lethal, just play around this I'm gonna stick a minion lethal. When you've just seen a Soulfire, you know there's no animated broomstick in the deck, and they're gonna be incredibly unlikely to have that second copy of the Soulfire ready to go, right? So it's just one of those things where when you play these decks, you just have to sit back for a second. Again, did you need to trade off all of those 1/1s there? They didn't really accomplish anything, did they? Right? You just have them on the board, and then they can be useful in a different sense of imagination. Obviously, we see Soulfire being subject here. The only thing that Eevee Angel can do right now is probably just like jam down double Flesh Giant and just say, I have counter lethal, you do not have counter lethal. And it's like, you never play around like one-off copy of Inner Demon. Like, Inner Demon has not been a Hearthstone card since OTK, the original OTK Demon Hunter with Kale Fast Sunstrider, like 10 months ago.
But it's getting some play tonight. Slapped out that bad boy. Inner Demon to the face. ArcaneNexus gonna walk away the winner here in game number 3. Woo! That was a good one.
Yeah,
we got there.
Game number two.
Game number 2. A little bit ahead of myself. We got there though.
And most importantly, ArcaneNexus picks up his 2nd win of the season overall in like this in terms of game wins, right? And again, like that must feel like a bit of a personal victory, right? And I can say this because I have played tournaments where it just didn't, feel like you just did not have the lineup, or the first few games of the day just didn't go your way, right? Getting those wins in there can be very incremental. Wait, that's a word. It's not a word. It is
incremental. Someone clip that and add it to Webster Merriam Dictionary. Oh my God!
Let's go, Merriam-Webster. Yes, the Merriam-Webster. I'm coming for you. You know what? Like, I mean, I passed grammar, by the way. I did pass it. I think I got a B or C.
But did you pass spelling?
I mean, I did, right? Like, I've written like 4 semester projects in English, so like I've written like combined like 300 or 400 pages of English over the course of the past 2.5 years. So I would say so. And as of right now, I would assume that we're going to be seeing Flame into Coin 1-drop. A true classic, especially when it's paired up with Wriggling Horror. It's one of the strongest 1/2 punches in the Sue deck.
Decides to slow roll a little bit there, not coining out anything.
You cannot slow roll. Like, hello? Like, we're not a 50 goal level 5 rolling excess. We are playing Sue. We need to get onto the board. We need to go fast here. We're playing as a control deck, my guy.
Absolutely. Starting a little bit slow. ArcaneNexus once again rolling out this Quest Shaman that we did see in game number 1. A greedy downfall there in game number 1 for ArcaneNexus. But as you said, ArcaneNexus picking up their 2nd game win of the year there in game number 2. Has to be a bit of a confidence booster there. Flame Imp coming through right here. I would expect it to follow up with that Void Walker. There it is. Going to be able to protect both 3/2s. For a bit of damage. Turn 3 looking like just a totem here again, and oh, it's everyone's favorite walking fountain from game number 1.
Yeah, so obviously again here, I actually will praise the decision to not go for the trade into the 1/1, because again, with the 1/3 stat line coming down, it is not going to impact you in any way. Again, I guess a lot of decks that would be a case here to So that sometimes, yeah, okay. I know sometimes you just think a little bit too fast.
Sleight of hand there. It's a misclick. It happens to everybody.
So okay.
Obviously not meant to be played outside.
Let's stay in the D&D universe, okay? This guy just rolled a nat. He just rolled a nat 1 on sleight of hand. It's fine. It happens, you know. But also, I'm a big proponent of spending all my mana and the spiritual that could come down against normal decks, against normal shaman decks. You would see yourself starting to play around stuff like Lightning Storm, in which case holding back the 1/3 could be a case for it. But in this position, I wouldn't say there's a case for it. But again, double X damage is not the draw that you want to see. I would start this turn off with a tap, just to see what you are going to actually be drawing into, right? Because again, always tap first. If you tap last, you're a bit of a... It's a bit of a meme, right? Tapping last on Mega Lore, right? Like it's been a meme for the past 7 years or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So the thing is here, right? So why the tap is important is due to the fact that you're starting to roll into the turns that have actual like velocity behind them from ArcaneNexus, right? Talking about the Shield of Galakrons, the Corrupted Elementalist, right? These minions can come down and start dressing the board in some way, in some shape, way, or form. Or if there had been that Haggis scheme in the hand from the start, right? And obviously, yes, as of right now, ArcaneNexus isn't that on the board. The Nexus still hasn't been broken, so obviously there's a chance for that massive gold comeback, you know? It is NA after all, so, you know, sometimes, you know, shout out to my League of Legends homies out there, you know what I'm saying, you know? There's a little bit of thickness house in all of us. Soulfire, however, I think should be lethal straight up.
Yep, that is lethal 6, 9, 10 on the dot, I believe, or maybe one extra 3, 6, 9. That should be 11 damage right there, as EV Angel will walk away the winner here in game number 3. Proper that time. Game number 3, moving on there, getting that win with their Zulok. That is Demon Hunter and Zulok now won. All that is left to win with for EV Angel to improve to 3-1 on the season will be my favorite, this spell damage mage. As we said, a pretty dynamic list, pretty fluid in how you can play it, just considering how these damage-based removal spells such as Fireball play out for mage. I'm excited to see what comes through. And, you know, you got a solid amount of RNG elements. You got the Janice Bear up. There's some exciting things that can go down as the Quest Shaman will be run back here for ArcaneNexus.
I actually want to applaud, right, is ArcaneNexus's choice of hero portrait. King Rastikan, absolute elite portrait, okay? Just want to get that out of the way here and just point it out. It's an elite portrait.
Elite portrait. The portrait game is strong, but EV Angel's hand might be pretty strong as well. Has a solid 1-2 right here. Continues to draw some low-cost spells. There is the Brain Freeze going inside the hero power and just crack in there with the 1-1, that Violet Spell Wing doing a little bit on the ground. What are we looking at here for ArcaneNexus trying to salvage this match?
Looking at, to be honest, yeah, I don't really have an idea about how this matchup is supposed to go, right? I would assume that, granted that EV Angel leaves us aboard at some point, there should be a significant amount of healing available to go with that good old-fashioned living fountain we talked about so much earlier on. However, we're also going to be looking at a significant amount of mid-range sized minions, which can be quite hard for this mage to deal with, right? I'm just, just going to bank the damage with the Arcane Missiles. I actually do kind of like this. I would probably prefer that to just be a holdback on the Brain Freeze, since the Brain Freeze is one of the few options that EV Angel has without, like, that doesn't go phasing into dealing with something like the Shield of Galakrond that we can see in the hand, for example, right now. Ancestral Healing on a 0-2 totem. That's a bit of a... It's a bit of one of those more desperate play. But I like the consideration, to be honest, right? Because the thing is that Ancestral Healing is a way of you protecting your life total. And I just, you know what, we're just sending 7 damage to the face this turn. The question, like, the issue that I have with this is that we're trading here, because there is no follow damage, there's no cycle in the hand as of right now from EV Angel either, right? Like, we're not seeing those Arcanes, like, we're not seeing the cram sessions. The primary engines of this deck in terms of keeping the draw going are not there right now. There's not even Wand Thieves in the hand to artificially, like, generating cards. Like, there's just not an option as of right now. again, Frostbolt, nice, fantastic way of dealing damage to the face, deals fall. But again, Sorcerer Punches, like Brain Freeze, Frostbolt, again, just doing some damage, but you're not killing your opponent, and your opponent is now going into territory where they have the option of actually starting to play cards, right? And that is the thing that you need to consider.
Yeah, you do have to definitely think about ArcaneNexus going to get online here in just a second. You're absolutely right. Eevee Angel is left stranded here with what's in hand and what is on top. You don't want to be top decking this early in the matchup. There's the Sorcerer's Apprentice coming through. Brain Freeze to boot will take care of the O2 on the left-hand side. Frostbolt going to the face and then going to trade out on board, smacking for 1 additional. Sitting at 11 HP. I mean, you've got them where you want them life total wise, but there are just a lot of ways for this board to stabilize right now. Farsight coming through off the top, a Walking Fountain discounted to 5 is going to just hurt. We are going to get to choose a dragon here. Solid options, I guess. Big ol' Whelp helps complete. All 3 of them are battle cries, so going to help complete their. It was odd. We got. Is that Discover a Dragon or Discover a Battle Cries? Discover a Dragon, correct? But all 3 ended up being with Battle Cries.
Yeah, that's quite good, right? So obviously now Cram Session, we're talking about this card being an important option, right? I can like the draw's gonna keep on coming, don't stop coming, and then we just start seeing All-Star, right? Yeah, like spell damage is fine, it's great, but as of right now, it doesn't really provide the lethal damage.
Session into Arcane Intellect's exactly what they needed. There is Arcane Missiles. Oh, hold on just a second here. Wand Thief off the top as well, gives you some card generation. Still 3 mana on the turn.
Right.
Gonna get the Arcane Missiles here. That's 4 more to the face. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. We're 2 off. Play the Wand Thief.
It's exactly lethal. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's exactly. I didn't see the second Arcane. You're exactly right.
Okay, so just for the record right now, okay? This guy, he is supposed to just cut video for a living. That's fine, totally acceptable. That's cool with you, obviously. That's fine.
Man.
But like even then, you have to like be able to like I don't know like count in that, right? You have to figure out when like the video and the audio, you know, like.
Oh no! Premiere does all the work for you. Premiere does all the work for me. You heard it here first. Adobe has the Adobe suite has just absolutely solved my degree. So I don't do anything. Video production, very, very easy, much like this series for Eevee Angel. Just absolutely getting it done and getting it done in a hurry. Coming through with the sneaky, hard to count lethal there in the last game there. Wita, what are your overall thoughts on that series?
I mean, that your casters just cannot do math. That's an overall takeaway from just watching more or less any cast in the world, right? Like just doing maths on stream is like it's a sin.
It's hard.
Fine.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
To be honest, like sometimes if you're like not used to playing on stream, sometimes you'll end up making like stupid mistakes you're not thinking about, right? Because like I've made mistakes before in the past as well, where I should have lost a game, I didn't end up losing because my opponent misplayed. In a trigger in Magic, where I should have just healed and I just didn't, right? So I've been in the shoes of ArcaneNexus before, so I can understand it, right? But the thing is that if you haven't been in the shoes before of esports, you know, like MetaProGaming.gg, fantastic place to get yourself all the help you need because they provide full service esports management, developmental and consulting. Right, that's part of the company structure as well. You know what? They also do provide esports coaching. They provide college esports management, arena design, and equipment. So you know what? Visit them at metaprogaming.gg for all your MetaPro gaming needs.
You know, Wita, between the two of us, I think that we can pool enough brain cells to both do math and speak real words. I don't know if we had enough there to comprehend the absolute clown fiesta that we just witnessed, however, in Hearthstone. I hope that everyone grabbed their party hat on the way in, because that was one to remember. Wita, once again, I'm going to toss it to you. Any closing thoughts before we head to a quick break?
You can follow me on Twitter at WitaCasts. I provide content that is about as good as what you just seen on screen every day. And yep, that's all for now. Thank you guys for having me yet again for another week. I will be going to sleep.
All right, Wita, have a great night. To everyone at home, don't go to bed just yet, because we have more Hearthstone coming your way after the break.